watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Right now, evacuation orders are in place after a brush fire broke out in Lakeside yesterday afternoon. Thanks for being here at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. This one is being called the Monty Fire. It's burning near El Monte Road, just east of Lake Jennings Parkway. We have team coverage this morning. CBS 8's Regina Urita live at the evacuation center. First, we do want to look at the weather conditions out there right now. Thankfully, there's a bit of a marine layer adding some moisture to our air. That does typically increase our relative humidity, but we are still under that heat advisory. It's going to be another hot and dry day there in Lakeside and surrounding areas, inland valleys and our mountains. Temperatures 10 to 15 degrees above normal. Smoke in Lakeside, it's been moving a bit to the east. So places like Alpine to Scanso, you're feeling that or smelling that smoke. But today expected to move north towards Ramona. So a heads up for you. This wildfire smoke, you see that map right there. It shows the direction that a lot of it's going to be moving over the next few days. So certainly something to keep in mind as air quality is impacted. Keep those windows and doors closed and limit your time outside, especially if you're smelling the smoke.
Now let's go to Regina Urita, live from the temporary shelter for evacuees at the Walmart store there on Camino Canada in El Cajon. What's the latest out there, Regina?
Hey, good morning, guys. That's right. And we were actually closer to the canyons earlier this morning, noticing some orange flames, but we have now moved to that evacuation center, which is the Walmart Center. We are seeing some pretty multiple parked cars, but it seems like most of the residents who were evacuated probably stayed with a loved one or even booked a hotel overnight. What we are seeing are pretty smoky conditions, low visibility at this time. And the air quality is pretty low here, but I want to get to some video, show you the latest update from CAL FIRE. They say the blaze has now burned roughly 340 acres and containment is at 10%. That information, however, could change as the morning moves forward. The video you're currently looking at is from yesterday. Fire officials reported the brush fire started just before 3 in the afternoon. You could see large plumes of smoke from miles away. And at that time, we did notice crews in the air and on the ground working together to get the flames under control. But keep in mind, fire crews are working in steep and rocky terrain. Today is supposed to be another hot day with low humidity, and firefighters are continuing to make progress. Unfortunately, CAL FIRE says this looks to be the start of a busy summer of wildfires in San Diego.
Seeing that significant amount of rainfall, it does not allow the brush throughout the county to absorb that moisture. So we are starting behind the curve due to the low precipitation throughout the rainy season.
And one thing fire officials are advising, just because we are seeing multiple fires sparking throughout San Diego, it is advised that you prepare for an evacuation by having a go bag filled with extra food, water, clothes, and essential items. Also, CAL FIRE recommends downloading the Genesis Protect app to keep up with any road closures or any emergency updates. But for now, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Regina, for the live update there. And now we do want to let you know about road closures connected to this Monty fire. Right now, Lake Jennings Park Road at El Monte Road is open, as well as Willow Road at Oma's Road. Still closed would be El Monte Road at Oma's Road and Yucca Road. CHP asking people to drive with caution throughout the area. Watch out for those firefighters. Stay out of their way. Stay with CBS 8 for updates on the Monty fire. We're going to have the very latest right here on the air. And if you don't have it yet, our streaming channel, CBS 8 Plus. Be sure to download on your TV and watch for free. This morning, we're getting a look now at San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria's updates to the proposed 2026 city budget. The mayor restored hours at libraries and recreation centers. Mayor Gloria's changes would also preserve hours at Lake Miramar and Lake Murray. Restroom services will stay at current levels at beaches and at Balboa Park, and beach fire pits will remain open. To bring the budget back into balance, Mayor Gloria did have to block several council additions, exercising his line item veto powers. He canceled $1.1 million for brush management enforcement, $900,000 worth of community projects, programs, and services funds, and $450,000 for 2 management roles in the Office of Race and Equity. The City Council has until next Thursday, that's June 26th, to sustain or override Mayor Gloria's decisions. These are just a few of the mayor's proposed changes. You can read all the details right there on our website, cbs8.com.
New this morning, Iran's supreme leader is rejecting U.S. calls to surrender amid strikes from Israel and says any U.S. strikes will have, quote, irreparable consequences. This comes as sources say President Trump is considering whether the U.S. should join Israel in strikes against Iran's nuclear sites in an effort to stop Iran from building a nuclear weapon. He posted on social media, quote, "We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran." He also issued a direct warning saying the U.S. knows where the supreme leader is hiding, calling him an easy target, though adding, quote, "We are not going to take him out, at least for now." So far, Trump administration officials have said America is not involved in Israel's attacks, though the U.S. has been helping Israel fend off Iranian counterstrikes. Lawmakers from both parties are now pushing to vote on measures limiting President Trump's ability to order strikes on Iran. This morning, another 2,000 National Guard troops are headed to Los Angeles amid protests over immigration raids. This was already announced last week, but the troops are now being activated. There will now be a total of 4,100 National Guard soldiers and 700 Marines in L.A. In a statement, the governor's office says, quote, "This isn't a new deployment. It's the same group of soldiers who have been diverted from critical wildfire work and work at the border, now twiddling their thumbs for Donald Trump's political theater." End quote. Right now, we are waiting for a decision from a federal appeals court about who should control the National Guard deployment. Judges indicated a ruling could come in a matter of days. All right, let's check in with Ned and see when this heat will finally give up.
No, yeah, I know. Right now we're seeing the clouds. It's in the 60s at least. Check out the Hotel Del, that $1.5 billion renovation complete. So yeah, there's a lot to look at and see and do now at the Hotel Del as they get set to open here soon. Looking at our skies, overcast skies, as you see, that marine layer, it is low to the ground in some spots. So watch out for some patchy fog out there. The sun shining over San Miguel Mountain, as you see. So our skies are going to likely clear soon, again, like they did yesterday. By 8 o'clock yesterday, the sun was out everywhere, and it was really warming things up. Heat advisory, again, till 8 o'clock tonight. We have the same weather pattern, this big ridge of high pressure. We are calling for a weather impact alert day today because of that inland heat and the dry air. So you're going to notice that throughout the day today. Tomorrow will still be warm, just a few degrees cooler. So a little break finally coming soon. 49 degrees right now in Ramona, 58 in Escondido. So right now, if you need to get outside, obviously it's going to feel more comfortable. Later today for inland valleys, another day, upper 80s to low 90s for a lot of you. So at the beaches, I would call it mid to upper 70s for some of our coastline, and then upper 80s, as you see, into the low 90s. Although places like Ramona, some of our hotter spots could get into the upper 90s, similar to yesterday. Overall, that ridge of high pressure is in place. It's sitting on us still, so it has not budged much, and it's not really going to move until tomorrow, even afternoon. So throughout the day tomorrow is still going to be pretty warm out there. Here's that ridge, elevated fire concern because of it, 10 to 15 degrees above average. There's hope for relief out there, and that's coming soon with this area of low pressure, which we'll get here by Thursday, Friday, mainly. Friday, that's when we'll notice that onshore flow and that change up in our weather. So here's a look now at traffic. I do want to point out a couple crashes. Looks to be a bit busy out there on the roads. There's a crash in Oceanside. I'll work on getting those details for you. But now let's look at this one right here on the 8. The westbound side at Mission Center Road, there's still a crash right there where the right-hand shoulder is blocked. They did clear the one on the 163 and the 5. And I know we mentioned these road closures because of the Monte fire. Here they are on the map, too. You can see where they are. Yucca Road to El Capitan Reservoir. Also, El Monte Road both ways from Yucca to Oma's family farm. So be careful if you're driving through East County at all in the Lakeside area. Border wait times. Let's see what's happening at our port of entries today. San Ysidro, 110 minutes to get through. Otay Mesa, not that much faster at about an hour and a half.